Amin Kermani here, folks, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing 4 English idioms, 4 practical English idioms that you can use to say that there's no point or it is no use doing something, or doing something is pointless or is meaningless, or an effort to do something is pointless and meaningless and will not get you anywhere. So let's get started. The first idiomatic expression is be flogging a dead horse. To be flogging a dead horse. To be flogging a dead horse. To be flogging a dead horse. Can you ride a dead horse? Of course, the answer is abundantly clear. The answer is an obvious no. Can a dead horse move, or can it do anything? Of course, the answer is no. So when you try or put a lot of energy and effort into riding a dead horse, that means you're trying to do something completely pointless, like fundamentally pointless and meaningless, because a dead horse cannot move. Then, why expect it to give you a ride when it cannot move? So when you flog a dead horse, or when flogging a dead horse, what you do is you put a lot of effort and energy into doing something that will get nowhere, or that will get you nowhere, or there's no point in doing so. Or there's no point in doing, because nothing positive happens, in the end, or it doesn't get you anywhere, or it doesn't produce any constructive, any positive, or the expected result, or it is just a waste of time, effort, and energy. So to be flogging a dead horse, let me give you an example. I think learning some languages in today's world is more like flogging a dead horse. I think learning some languages in today's world is more like flogging a dead horse. I think learning some languages in today's world is more like flogging a dead horse, which means I think there is no point in learning some languages in the world, because learning those languages will never be useful, and they're not practical. They're not spoken by a large number of people, or they're not spoken, by a large number of countries, which makes learning that language completely pointless and useless. So you better save your time, money, effort, and energy by doing something else. And you'd better not invest at all in learning those languages. So learning some languages in today's world is more like flogging a dead horse. One more example. Repairing an old car that no one likes to drive is like flogging a dead horse. Repairing an old car that no one likes to drive is like flogging a dead horse. Repairing an old car that no one likes to drive is like flogging a dead horse, which means putting or pouring money into repairing an old car that no one likes to drive, or is not roadworthy, or is not worth driving, is completely pointless. I mean, a waste of time, effort, and energy. So repairing a car, repairing an old car that no one likes to drive, or is so old that is not worth repairing, or is not worth investing any money in, is like flogging a dead horse. Is like doing something that, doesn't get you anywhere, doesn't produce the result that you're looking for, or the expected result. So you better not spend any money on repairing that car. So repairing an old car that no one likes to drive is like flogging a dead horse. Alright, now let's get to the second idiomatic expression, which is to cry over spilled milk. To cry over spilled milk. To cry over spilled milk, which means something that happened in the past, something unpleasant that happened in the past and, cannot be changed. Which means there's no point at all in thinking about or worrying about something negative and unpleasant that happened in the past that cannot be changed for the better now. So you better not waste your time by thinking about it, or by, remembering those negative and unpleasant things that happened in the past. So when something is crying over spilled milk, or when we say that something is like crying over spilled milk, or to cry over spilled milk means to do something, to put effort and energy into doing something, or to allocate energy and effort and attention to something that there's no point in doing, or is not worth doing because it doesn't produce the result that you want, or it doesn't get you anywhere, or you're not going to get anywhere with it, or doing it will not get you anywhere. Let me give you a couple of examples, 2 examples I think will do. We'd better stop crying over spilt milk and make some plans for our future. We'd better stop crying over spilt milk and make some plans for our future. We'd better stop crying over spilt milk and make some plans for our future, which means thinking about what happened in the past that cannot be changed now for the better is a waste of time, and we better just make plans for our future because there's nothing that we can do to change our past, but there's a lot that we can do to improve our future or change our future for the better. So we better stop crying over spilt milk and and make some future plans, or invest our time, effort, energy, and money in making future plans that might get us somewhere. So we'd better stop crying over spilt milk and make some plans for our future. One more example. You never see successful people crying over spilt milk. You never see successful people crying over spilt milk. You never see successful people crying over spilt milk, which means successful people never keep thinking about the unpleasant that happened in the past that cannot be changed for the better now, or cannot be changed at all. They'd rather think about something that they can improve in the future, or they'd rather allocate their time to something that they can do in the future, or a positive change that they can make in the future. So the successful people never waste their time by thinking about the past, or by remembering the unpleasant things that happened in the past that cannot be changed now. So you never see the successful people crying over spilled milk. Alright, now let's get to the third idiomatic expression that you can use in this regard to say that there's no point in doing something, or doing something will not get you anywhere, which is to fight a losing battle. 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 When you fight a losing battle, you do something that there's no point in doing, or you do something that is not worth doing, or you do something that doesn't get you anywhere. So to fight a losing battle. To fight a losing battle. Let me give you an example. Don't you think changing your job is fighting a losing battle? Don't you think changing your job is fighting a losing battle? Don't you think changing your job is fighting a losing battle? Which means, don't you think that by changing your job, you're not doing anything positive, or nothing will change for the better? You're just changing your job and wasting your time by doing so, but it doesn't produce the result that you're looking for, or the expected result, or it doesn't get you anywhere, or it doesn't do you any favor or anything positive. So don't you think that changing your job is fighting a losing battle? One more example. Learning lots of languages at the same time is fighting a losing battle. Learning lots of languages at the same time simultaneously is fighting a losing battle. Learning lots of languages at the same time is fighting a losing battle, which means if you want to learn lots of foreign languages all at once at the same time, you're doing something which is somehow impossible, or you're doing something which is impossible to achieve, or impossible to be done, or you're doing something that there's no point in doing because, at the end of the day, long story short, it's not going to get you anywhere fundamentally. So learning several languages, or a lot of languages at the same time, all at once, is fighting a losing battle. Alright, now let's get to the fourth and the last idiomatic expression of today's video that you can use to say that it's no use doing something, or doing something will not get you anywhere, which is something is like chasing rainbows. 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 When you start chasing rainbows, can you catch them? Or when you start chasing a rainbow, can you get it? Can you catch it? Can your hands reach it? The answer is abundantly clear, an obvious no, a big no. So when you start chasing rainbows, what you do is you start doing something that will not get you anywhere, or you start doing something that there is no point in doing, or you start doing something that, that will put you in a situation that you will end up achieving nothing, or doing nothing, or getting no result, or not getting the result that you expected. So to be like chasing rainbows. To be like chasing rainbows. Let me give you an example. Trying to change people to who we want is like chasing rainbows. Trying to change people to who we want is like chasing rainbows. Trying to change people to who we want is like chasing rainbows. Which means if you try to change the people around you to who you want, or to the people that you want, to the people that you prefer or you desire, is like chasing rainbows, is like something that will not get you anywhere, or is like something that there is no point in doing, or is not worth doing, because you put a lot of effort and energy into doing it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't produce the result that you want, or it doesn't get you anywhere, or it doesn't go anywhere. So trying to change people to who you want is like chasing rainbows. One more example. Only setting yourself some goals without putting them into action is like chasing rainbows. Only setting yourself some goals without putting them into action is like chasing rainbows. Which means if you only set yourself some goals on paper, in theory, but don't do anything in practice to put them into action, is like doing something that there is no point in doing, or is like a waste of time, or is like doing something useless or worthless, or doing something that doesn't go anywhere or doesn't get you anywhere. So only setting yourself some goals without putting them into action is like chasing rainbows. Alright guys, that's about all. That's about today's video. So you learned 4 idiomatic expressions to say that someone is doing something that there is no point in doing, or someone is doing something useless and pointless, which were to cry over a spilt milk, to fight a losing battle, to be like chasing rainbows, and to be flogging a dead horse. Alright, now what I want you to do is subscribe to this very YouTube channel here that does go all out to provide you with the best tips, tricks, idioms, collocations, words, and anything about English. And also like the videos as you watch them. And finally, make sentences using the idioms that you learned out of today's video and comment them down below. I'll be back soon.